All right, we're about to create a live video here. Okay, is it going on yet? We're waiting for the live video to come on. Let's stop there. Yep, it's coming on. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Talking Sports. Big C host, Big C Colin MacGuire. We're on from 8 to 9 o'clock. To be on the show, all you got to do is call 334-799-4922, 334-799-4922. Also, we have a YouTube channel called, Alabama's Biggest Fan, but also go on there and go to JockJive Sports Radio. Subscribe to it. It's free, and you can watch us on Facebook Live right now. Also, we have a Facebook page, Alabama Football, with legendary Big C Colin MacGuire with local sports, and join us there also. But anyway, what we're going to do first, we're going to talk about SEC men's basketball scores and whatever stats we can give to you. Tennessee, 16-5, was ranked number 6. Kentucky is now 15-6, number 10, and Tennessee beat them 103-92. Tennessee was 48.6% from the field, while Kentucky was 49%. On three-pointers, Tennessee was 12 out of 30 for 40%, while Kentucky was 12 out of 27 for 44%. Free throws, Tennessee was 73.1% to Kentucky 62.2%. Connect, who I don't know, I hope I pronounced his name right, scored 16. Ziegler scored 26, and James scored 26. For Kentucky, Billingham came off the bench and scored 35, and Reeves had 21. Points in the paint, Tennessee had 42 to Kentucky's 30, and that's one of the stats that's really important. Number 16 Auburn won 91-77 over Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. They beat them pretty bad in Auburn and beat them pretty good over there in Oxford. Auburn was 34.7% from the field. That's not right. I think I got the stats wrong on this. Yeah. I don't know. 34, I think it's 44.7% because it was 35 out of 64, and that's over half of that. So it was 54.7%. The Ole Miss is 8 out of 62 for 45%. On three-pointers, Auburn was 12 out of 27 for 44%, while Ole Miss was 8 out of 19 for 42%. Free throws, Auburn, that was three-pointers there. Free throws, Auburn was 9 out of 13 for 69.2%. The Ole Miss is 17 out of 30%. Williams had 16, and Broom had 15, and so did Baker. Mays had 15 for Auburn. Manigan had 20 for Ole Miss, while Murrell had 20. Rebounds, Auburn out-rebounded them bad, 42-26. And points in the paint, Auburn outscored them there too, 44-32. And they won by 14, so that going into the paint really made a big difference. We're going to hold off on the Alabama and Mississippi State because we'll be talking to Kerry Clark a little later on, around 8:20. So LSU beat Arkansas 95-74, and Arkansas was 22 out of 55 for 43.6%, while LSU was 29 out of 53 for 54.7%. Three-pointers, Arkansas was way off, 3 out of 13 for 23%, while LSU was 12 out of 23 for 52%. Free throws, Arkansas was 23 out of 33 for 69.17%, while LSU was 25 out of 28 for 89.3. Good morning, big man. Nice to see you didn't float away yesterday. Yes, it was a lot of rain, big time rain. You're right on that, Greg. Thank you for being on here this morning. And it's still cloudy outside. I don't know what to tell you on that. Mark had 20 for LSU. For Arkansas, while Graham had 18. LSU had Baker with 25, Cook with 18, and I got Williams third for 13. And then 13. But anyway, rebounds, LSU out rebounding by 1, 31-30. But points in the paint, Arkansas had 38 to LSU's 30. Normally, when you get points, outscore the other team points in the paint, the team that does that normally wins, but they didn't do that yesterday. South Carolina's got a really good team. They're in second place right now with Auburn. I think that's right. We'll do the men's standings tomorrow. But anyway, South Carolina is won 72-62 over Georgia. They were 59 out of 26 from the field for 51.8%, while Georgia was 22 out of 56 for 39%. 3-point shots, they were 7 out of 20, talking about South Carolina, for 35%, while Georgia was 9 out of 28 for 32%. Free throws, South Carolina was 7 out of 11 for 63.6%, while they were 9 out of 9 for 100%. Murray Bowles had 16 and Gray had 15, and Abdul Rakim had 20, while Kane had 11 for Georgia. Rebounds, South Carolina out-rebounded them 34-28. Hey, Tim Card, how you doing? Oh, great. Thank you. You're watching us on YouTube. Let everybody know you can watch us on YouTube also. Points in the paint, South Carolina had 40 to Georgia's 24, and that made a difference in the game there. Then you had Vanderbilt. They won their first game yesterday, winning 68-61, or this weekend, it was Saturday, for their first SEC win. And then Missouri was 22 out of 59, for 37.3%, while Vandy was 20 out of 60 for 40%. 3 points, Missouri was 7 out of 26 for 26.9, while Missouri was Vanderbilt was 5 out of 22 for 28%. 22%, excuse me. Can't read my own writing here. Free throws, Missouri was 10 out of 11 for 90.9%, while Vanderbilt was 15 out of 20 for 75%. Rebounds, Vanderbilt out-rebounded them 42-31. Points in the paint, Missouri outdid them there 28-22, and they ended up still losing. But anyway, Missouri, Carter had 20, Bates had 17, while Manjon had 17, and Lawrence had 14 for Vandy. So you did have some double figure scorers there. And let's see, what time is it getting to be? Florida beat Texas A&M A&M beat Florida 67-66. Good morning to you, John Dent. Thank you for being on here. From the field, Florida was 44.6%, while A&M was 40.7%. 3-point shots. Florida was 10 out of 29 for 34.5%, while A&M was 4 out of 15 for 26.6%. Now, free throws, A&M outdid them here pretty good. 6 out of 11 for Florida. For A&M, it was 15 out of 24, 62.5%. For A&M, 54.5%. Then rebounds, they were tied. Points in the paint was pretty outrageous. Good morning to you, Ronald Page. How you doing? Thank you for watching. 34-18. Florida's Colin had 18. Richard had 12. A&M Bradford had 26. Taylor the fourth had 15. So tomorrow we'll go over the figures on who come on, think brain. Who I like that, John. Now we're going to talk about the good morning. Oh, I like that, Lewis. Good morning, big man. Thank you, sir. Anyway, in the women's, we're going to talk about the women's. I don't know where his pick is. We got a lot of stuff on here. It would be hard to put him and Dean on here. But anyway, Georgia won 72-65 over Kentucky's women. Kentucky's 9-14 and 2-7 in the conference. Petty had 25. Tyler had 18. Georgia's 11-11, 2-7 in the conference. Also, Nicholson had 23. Flanor had 16. Kentucky. Here's the quarter-by-quarter scoring. They played by quarters. It was 22-7 Kentucky at the end of the first quarter. Then it was 8 for Kentucky, 23 for Georgia, so it was tied 30-30 at halftime. Then Kentucky had 15 to Georgia 17, and then Georgia outscored them 20-5, so they ended up winning by 7 points, 72-65. Okay. Missouri played Tennessee, and Tennessee. Hey, Ronald Page, how you doing, big man? Thank you for being on here. I hope you're doing well today. Hadn't heard from you lately or seen you lately. Thank you for watching. All right, then Tennessee took on Missouri and winning 80-69. Tennessee is now 14-7. Overall, 7-2 in the conference, while Missouri's 11-11 and 2-7 in the conference. Dembele had 18 for Missouri. Slaughter had 14, while Spear had 22 for Tennessee, and Jackson had 19. And then the scoring battle was this. It was Missouri had 17 to Tennessee's 28. Then Tennessee scored 18 to their 17. And then a 15 points from Missouri in the third quarter to Tennessee's 17. And then, Tennessee outscored them by 9, by 1, by 2, and then they got outscored by 3. But anyway, the final score was Tennessee 80. Oh, it's on its way up page. But anyways, 80-69, Tennessee over Missouri. Ole Miss got beat by number 1 South Carolina by the score of 85-56. South Carolina is now 21-0 and 9-0. Cardoso had 17. Fulwilly had 14. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. While Ole Miss, who is 16-6 and 6-3, had 7, led by Scott with 17 and Davis with 10. South Carolina was up 17-15 at the end of the first quarter. Then they scored 20 3 points to score 40 at the half. Ole Miss is 31. Then they outscored them by 7, 20-13 in the third quarter, and then outscored them by by 13 in the fourth quarter. So 2, 7, that's 9, 16, and 13. Well, they don't add up to 4. That's don't add up right. But anyway, they're up. They won by 24, 80-56. Oh, you found my Red Sea Cafe. Oh boy, I'd like to read up about that. I wonder where is that, big man? The Red Sea Cafe. I like that. Okay, Florida. LSU put a number on Florida 106-66. Beat them by 40. Florida's now 11-9 and 2-6 in the conference, while LSU is 19-4 and 6-3. They're number 8 or number 9 in the country, whatever poll you look at. Wadley, Alabama. I've been over there before. It's been a while. Mayor Theroux had 20 for Florida, and Connie had 13 for Florida, while Williams had 21, and Van Leith, the transfer from Louisville, had 21. And, here's the scoring. LSU was up 24-11 at the end of the first quarter. Then they scored 30 points where they got 54 to Florida's 28. Then it was 26-15. Then 26-23, and they outscored them by 40. Golly, let's see, 13, 26, 11, 37, and 3. Yeah. So they beat them by 40. I was just looking at the point difference and how that always adds up there. I don't need an abacus today. GPS is suggested to get there. Have you ever been to the Red Sea before? Sounds like a good place to go to. And then Arkansas beat Auburn by the score of 74-72 at Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas 17-7 and 5-4 in the conference, while Auburn is 14-8, 3-6. Scott scored 33 for Arkansas, while Daniels had 15. And then Scott Grayson had 27 for Auburn. Collins had 10. Auburn was up 17-6 at the end of the first quarter. Then they scored 17 more. It was 34-25 at the half. Then the third quarter, Arkansas outscored them by 20. And then Auburn outscored them by 9. And it ended up being 74-72. Hey, Brian, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Alabama did not play. Hey, Brian, I can't stay on long. What's going on? Because I got to call up somebody at 8:20. What's going on?
Alabama plays tonight in women's basketball against Vanderbilt at 6 on the ACCC network.
Where at?
At Vandy.
At Vandy. Okay. What's Alabama's record and Vandy's record real quick?
Alabama's 17-6 and Vandy's 17-5.
Okay. Who's better in the conference between the two teams?
Both of them are 4-4.
Okay, so somebody will be up and somebody will be down in the conference standings.
Yeah. Today, Roger Starbucks, he's 82 years old today.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay.
And then Darrell Waldrop, 77 years old today.
I remember him, the driver, the kart racer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, big man, I hate to do this, but we're going to have to, in about a minute, I'm going to have to call up Kerry, but I appreciate you giving us a holler, though.
Hey, John, Denny, Lewis Wood, and Margie.
Yeah, they're all here. Thank you.
BC.
Thank you. Bye. No, I still got to look up his number, big man. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I need to memorize it. I've called it so many times. I can't believe I don't have it in my memory bank, but it will be. But still, I gotta look it up, and that's what I'm doing right now. But anyway, yeah, appreciate him calling. It's just that we can't get long winded when we got somebody coming up in about a. Well, we can go ahead and call him now. Okay. Because it's going to turn 8:20 by the time he answers the phone. It's 8:20, by the way.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, big man?
All right.
That's good. That's good. Somebody made a comment about Rolodex, but anyway, that's just an inside joke. We got Kerry Clark tied 101.9. How long you been working with them, big man?
Part-time for 4 years and full-time for 4 months, 4.5 months.
Okay, so you're back in the saddle again, as they say. Yeah, Alabama won pretty big yesterday over well, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday over Mississippi State, and scored almost 100 points. They was about to get there. Now, what? I'm trying to figure out something. What is the deal with 99-67? I had to finally look through my notes and finally found out. We could tell everybody what the score was. How close do they? I mean, how many times they scored over 100 points? Because I've heard that that's sort of almost like a record now. Do you know?
Yeah, they've done it 6 times, which is the school record for one season. And they've had 2 other games where they end up with 99.
Golly. Are they leading? I understand they're leading the nation in scoring offense. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
What are they? What are they averaging a game?
89.
That's not bad. What are they doing? They played real well defensively the other day against State, but what are they doing defensively from a scoring standpoint, or do you know?
About number 60.
Oh gosh. Well, but I mean they've had a lot of fast break points on, or they scoring off of turnovers and stuff like that. They've really done real well with that too, though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they push the ball for sure as quick as anybody in the country, and that's very attractive to recruits.
Mm-hmm. Now they weren't. That was Mississippi State. Now they were 30. They hit 15 out of 48 for 31.3%. And if you look at the discrepancy between Alabama and them, they only tried 16 3-pointers, while Alabama tried 48 and hit 15, which is still an extra 45 points. But he always uses he was a math teacher, talking about Nate Oates. What is the mathematical formula, or what is the thing about him saying about them taking that many shots, which I know some of them are going to fall in? What is his philosophy on that?
His philosophy is that 3 points is more than 2. So if you're open for a 3-pointer, he'd rather you try that unless you're just wide open for a layup or a dunk. If you make 40% of your 3-pointers, you still get more points than if you make 50% of your 2-pointers, and he knows all that. He's a analytics guru.
Yeah, well, that right there, if you look at that one stat, Alabama scored 45 from 3-point land to their 12, and that was exactly almost 30. 45 to 12. That's almost right, 33 points, and they beat them by 32. So
There you go.
that came out just right. And I understand they average about 16 seconds per shot or something like that. Is that about right on that?
Sometimes it's less than that, but on the average, that's about right. Yeah.
Golly. Well, how far?
The goal is 9.
9. Trying to be like Steve Spurrier, your fast break offense in football.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Run and gun or whatever, fun and gun or whatever he called that offense down there at Florida. Now, Sears is the one that's really doing really well. He had 21. Estrada, where's he from? Because he's the new one. Yeah, but his name is real easy to remember.
He's been with several schools. He started off at Oregon. He left there and went somewhere else. And this is either his third or fourth school.
Well, I think they need to cut that down, but I'm glad we got him. But anyway, now who else? Now who's the young man that transferred from North Dakota? Is it North Dakota State?
Yeah, that's Grant Nelson.
Now, what year is he in school?
He's considered a graduate, but he's got one more year if he wants to use it.
Do you think he'll do that, or do you think he'll head on to the next level?
I think he'll be back here. I think the people at the next level feel like he needs one more year in the weight room, and I think he's finding that out.
Oh yeah, that even though they're scoring points in the paint, they're still giving up a lot there. Somebody was asking about NIL. Is that another reason why they might stay? Also, but yeah. Oh, I know the transfer part is the NIL's probably causing that to having that happen too. Also a lot,
yeah.
But
Sure. Yeah.
Now, I understand the women. Do you keep up with the women much, or is it mainly the men's basketball program?
I read the scores, and I watched part of their game the other night against Arkansas that they won. They looked pretty good. It was a road game, and they've had some decent times this year, but they don't have a winning record in the conference right now.
Uh-oh. All right, let me ask you. You just said something there. She does have what she. Did I understand she's got 499 wins now? Is that right? Talking about the coach.
I believe it is right. Christy Curry.
Yeah. If she has another losing record in the conference, could that be a danger for her, or what's the deal on that?
Depends on how bad it is. I mean, like something like 8-10, probably not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like it feels like
final is it comes out to. It's a long way to go. They're only halfway through right now.
Oh yeah. What I understand, they're 4-4. Is that correct?
And they've got some winnable games coming up. The main goal is to get to the NCAA tournament, and I feel like they're going to be able to do that unless they just collapse.
Yeah. Now, somebody's wanting to know about that. Do you think Ryan Grubb is going to stay or leave, or is that hard to say?
I'd just be guessing. Right now, if I had to guess, I'd say stay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's even had an interview yet with Seattle.
Now, some folks are saying they think that this is somehow just to try to mess up Alabama. Do you think there's any truth in that comment?
No, I think he's been contacted, or his agent has.
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, right now we'll just have to wait and see what happens on that.
We probably won't know anything for another week or so.
Okay, all right.
But
I'm sorry, what you sort of cut out? What'd you say?
We probably know something by the end of this week. But right now, he hadn't even been interviewed. So, and there's another guy's been interviewed twice. So I wouldn't put too much stock into it just yet. He's just a nut right now.
Okay. Yeah, the other guy being interviewed twice sort of sounds like he's sort of got an edge to me on that.
You would think, but again, we'll have to wait and let it shake out.
Yeah. Was anything else going on sports-wise up at Alabama this week?
Yes, National Signing Day.
Oh, really? And when is that? That's when? From
Wednesday.
All right, is it just Wednesday or is it through Friday?
Through Friday. But, I mean, right now, I don't know but of one person they're going to sign. And because they did most of the work in the December one.
Okay. Now, of course, Ryan Williams, when he signs the dotted line.
Well, Ryan, I wasn't counting him. There's one other guy besides Ryan. His name's QB Reese. His father, Quentin, played at Auburn. And he's been committed to Alabama for a long time, but he didn't sign early with Saban. So he's saying after his visit this past weekend that he will sign. He's a linebacker from Birmingham.
What school does he play for up there?
I think Ramsey.
Oh, they're good. So, yeah, that'd be a good prospect there.
Yeah, but like I say, his daddy played at Auburn, Quentin Reese. He was a good player.
I remember him. That's interesting. You getting two former Auburn players' sons maybe signing with Alabama. That's pretty interesting there.
Well, as far as I know, they will be.
Yeah, will be. Okay. All right.
There's not any kind of drama expected with either one of them.
Okay. I got you. All right. Well, big man, we're right at 8:30. Are you on today or not? And what can they, when we give you a little pub, where can they listen to you at?
Tide 100.9. There's an app for that, and I'll be on 11 to 12.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good luck, big man. We'll talk to you later, and thank you for being on, and we'll talk to you next week then.
All right. Have a good one, Big C.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Right, there we go. Got. See, thank you, Kerry, Mr. Webb. I like that. Let's see. Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk now. It's 8:30. We got Dean Myrick coming on in about 10 minutes or so. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about both Alabama and Auburn's schedule 2024. We're going to do Alabama's first, and then we'll do Auburn's. And if the dates are different, we'll let you know. But for right now, on August the 31st, Alabama will be opening up the Kalen DeBoer era on August 31st against Western Kentucky in Tuscaloosa. Then September the 9th, the next weekend, South Florida will come to town. Then on September the 14th, they travel to Wisconsin to play them up there in Madison, Wisconsin. Yep. Also, then they have an off week, and then they play Georgia in Tuscaloosa on September the 28th. October the 5th, the Vanderbilt Commodores come to town. No, they got to go up there. Then on November, good morning, Shawnee. How you doing? Nice seeing you. It's been a while. Appreciate you being on here. Okay, on October the 12th, South Carolina comes to Tuscaloosa. Then October the 19th, Missouri comes to town. Then another off week, and then go down to LSU down in Baton Rouge. Then on November the 16th, take on Mercer at home. And then on November the 23rd, they go to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. That's going to be interesting to see how they do in the Southeastern Conference here. And then November the 30th, take on Auburn at home. And that will be, let me think, 39th anniversary of the kick when Van Tiffin kicked the field goal to beat Auburn 25-23. That will be the 39th anniversary of that game that day. Let's see. Okay, so that's toss-up will be Georgia and LSU and Tennessee. If they win 2 out of 3 or all of them, they'll be good. Your birthday's November the 19th. All right. That day, when you turned 7, Notre Dame and Michigan State tied each other, big man. The game of the century back then. But anyway, on August the 31st, Auburn opens up with Alabama A&M at home. Then on September the 7th, take on the California Bears at home. Now, they're going to have, this has got to be the earliest homecoming. Good. I'm glad you said noted there, Lewis. Are you talking to Lewis or talking to me? Mine's August the 25th. I'll let Lewis tell you what his is. Sean Connery, George Wallace, and Cornelius Bennett, and I all have the same birthday. All right, yeah, taking on New Mexico, not New Mexico State, but New Mexico for homecoming on September the 14th at home. Now, the first 5 games they play this year for Auburn are all on the show. Oh. Now, I'm going to let Lewis tell you his. I know what it is, but I'm going to let him tell you his. His is real easy to remember. There you go. All right, where are we going here? Oh, Oklahoma is a home game. On September 28th. Then the first road game is October the 5th at Georgia. Then they have an open date. Then Missouri on the 19th. Then the 26th they play Kentucky there. So you got 3 road games in a row after opening up with 5 at home. You got 3 road games. Then Vanderbilt on November the 2nd, November the 16th, Louisville Monroe. November 23rd, Texas A&M at home. And then on November the 30th, Auburn and Tuscaloosa. So, I like that. Yeah, you were born in another century, big man. I like that, Greg. September 27th, 1960. Hey, Randy, how you doing, big man? Thank you for being on here. So I don't I like that. But anyway, W. Arkansas will probably be a W now. I'm going to put Oklahoma as a toss-up. Georgia at home, on the road, an L. Missouri, I'm going to put that as a toss-up. Kentucky, more likely a win. Vanderbilt, a win. La Monroe, a win. A&M, I'm going to put that more likely a win with that being at home. And then they're playing in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to put that as an L. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for sure wins, and then 2 or 3 losses, and then a toss-up or 2. So it might be 8 wins, 2 losses, and 2 toss-ups. That's how I'm going to put that down. March 22nd. But anyway, yeah. So it's we're gonna be calling up the commissioner up pretty soon. So it's gonna be interesting. That'll be the second year of the Hugh Freeze era over in Auburn. Now, I don't know. Maybe we know that they know something we don't know, but they did not. Let's put it this way: I think there's one more opening on the transfer portal after spring. I don't know if Auburn's going to be digging up for a quarterback or not. He can run real well. I don't know. Wow. Well, it was raining. I like this, what Greg said. It's interesting y'all bring up birthdays. I was thinking if a man was born in 1898 and lived to be 103 years old, he'd live in 3 centuries. Yesterday was a slow day. You know what? There was a fella that lived here in Greenville that did that. I can't remember who that was. But he was born about that time. Coffee shortly. But yeah, we're gonna be calling up Dean Myrick. I always want to call him Dean Moody, the guy I went to school with at Marion Institute. Dean Myrick and Dean Moody are pretty close together, or at least it is for me. Dean Moody has done well. He lives in Montgomery and works in Montgomery, and Dean Myrick works in Montgomery but lives over in Auburn. But yeah, we're gonna be talking to him about. He's the commissioner, so let's dig up his number real quick. Dean Myrick. Let's go ahead and call him now. We weren't able to talk to him last week. Hopefully this week we'll be able to do that.
Hey, Colin.
Hey, Dean, I'm glad we're able to talk to you today. Yeah, last week you had a meeting going on, so we weren't able to talk to you. But I'm glad we're able to do that. What's going on? We're talking with Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the Alabama Community College Conference. Have y'all changed the name yet or not? Or y'all gonna still keep it that way for still a while?
We have not yet. We got to do a little bit more exploring. So we're not in a hurry. I mean, it's not like it's completely necessary right now. So we're just we'll keep looking.
I still think that Yellowhammer comment, well, y'all might not use it's crazy when it's called the Yellowhammer State, but we won't get into that.
No need to get into that.
No, but that's as far as we go on that. But anyway, had to catch myself on that too. But anyway, what's going on with the basketball on the North and South divisions of your conference? And I'm always curious about Marion Military Institute since I went there for 1 year, and that was a fun year. Our basketball program back then was not too good. I don't know if it's that good now or not, but just let me go ahead and ask you about MI. What are they doing in basketball right now?
They're struggling right now. Let's see. Right now they are tied for last in Division II. So we don't have North South anymore. We pretty much have Division I, Division II. So yeah, I mean it's a tight race. There's 2 games between second and last. So
Golly.
it'll come
that,
down to probably a tiebreaker at the end.
You mean in that division that MI's in is between second and last place only a 2-game difference? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So it's definitely tight.
Wow. Now, all right, I'm going to ask you another question. Who is the coach at Marion Institute? The basketball.
Tim Rogers right now. Yeah, he's been there 4 years maybe.
Yeah. Interesting. So, I don't know if you ever, unfortunately, he just passed away recently, but when I was in school there at Marion that 1 year, James I. Davis was the assistant football coach for the junior college team, and he was the head coach for the basketball team. But no, he coached, I think he taught both high school and junior college math. That's what he was teaching over there. During the time, and he stayed there for a while, and then he went back. He went when Coach Frank North left to go to Livingston. James I went with him, and see, Livingston was his alma mater, so that worked out pretty good for him. And then all that, but I just remember Lawson State was. How good are they these days? Talking about Lawson State.
They're doing well. They are in Division I and in fourth. They're 17-6 overall, so having a good year. So they're in fourth, but 1 game out of second. So it's tight there too.
All right, now you said Division I and II. Now, since you didn't want to put North and South anymore, how do y'all try to geographically put them as close as you can, or how does that work out?
No, it's NJCAA is kind of like NCAA. You've got Division I, II, and III. So our schools, for the first time in a while, were able to choose, Division I or II. Other than postseason, whether it's district or national wise, you wouldn't know a difference, outside of looking at the standings. But Division I will have their own tournament. in their own separate national postseason, and then the same for Division Two. So more or less from a competitive standpoint, once you get to the national level, and we're probably geared more toward Division Two, but it ended up being about a 50-50 split between 1 and 2. So I think it'll be a good thing.
Now, do they all play each other though? Still, despite being in divisions, or not?
They're not required to. Most will. But obviously, Division One will play each other home and home. Division Two will play each other home and home. The only difference now is when there's a crossover. It's considered now a non-conference game instead of a conference game.
Wow, that's interesting.
A little confusing, but I said, unless you really knew what was going on, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference from a regular season standpoint.
Golly, that's pretty. Is there any Division III teams in Alabama or not?
No, we didn't. We didn't go that route, because Division III you can't give any scholarships.
Oh no, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, so we stuck at 1 and 2. So, volleyball as a sport, which was smart, all went Division II. Because competing at the national level with volleyball, with the international influx,
wow.
which we're not able to have, or scholarship, internationals, it was very, very difficult for us to compete nationally in that arena. So, this was our first year in Division II, and we won more games at the national tournament this year than I think we've won the last 15 years combined, at Division II, Division I. So, that was, and I think the same thing's going to happen, nationally as well in all our other sports in Division II. So, we'll see.
Well, all right. Now you mentioned volleyball. I'm assuming the community colleges out in California in volleyball are in Division I on that. Am I correct?
Well, California and a lot of the Pacific Northwest states are not a member of the National Junior College Athletic Association, which all the other states are. So California and a lot of the Pacific Northwest, actually California has their own association. So California, probably in more ways than one, are on their own.
Yeah.
And then the Pacific Northwest, they're in the NWAC, which is the Northwest Athletic Conference. So they're not a part of the NJCAA of which is what we're a part of. So
now,
again, confusing.
Yeah, it is. Now the National Junior College Athletic Association, where is its headquarters?
Oh gosh.
I know Indianapolis was the NCAA. I guess it still is. But
it still is. I think the NWAC is in, I want to say Oregon, but I could be wrong. But I think they're based in Oregon. So, yeah, NCAA is still in Indianapolis until they shut them down.
Speaking of that, do you have a few extra minutes to talk or not?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Person calls around 8:52 is not going to be calling in today. Reason why I was asking that question. Now, explain to me again. All right, there's another lawsuit going on. What is that, from what you know, is going on there?
And stuff gets so complicated. Obviously, NCAA now is going after Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the attorney generals in Tennessee and Virginia.
Yeah, they're suing
filed a temporary restraining order, basically saying that NCAA is trying to pick and choose. what to try to enforce, and the rules are not really, out there for enforcement. And so I don't know. There's so many lawsuits now that I just, the biggest one now is, the antitrust, and whether, a student athlete's going to be considered employees of the college. And, if that happens, NCAA as we know it will be gone. And I think a lot of, I won't say schools completely, but there'll be a lot of sports lost because you're not going to be able to afford, a whole athletic department and all their student athletes now becoming employees and
No, you can't do that.
having salaries. And
No.
unfortunately, that probably means a lot of the Olympic style sports will go away, and decreasing opportunities and participation. And I don't know if that trickles down to our level or not. I mean, if that was to happen at our level, every school we have would shut down athletics. But it's probably a lot across the country. But it's a strange time for sure going on, and I don't think anybody knows what the future holds.
Well, I got a friend that keeps up with all this going on, and he said when Ed O'Banion got the lawsuit going, and then if and I think the NCAA, they would have, if the NCAA would have settled with him, he would have taken the money, and all this other crap wouldn't be going on. But I think they got hard headed, or somebody was too stupid, or their legal division or whatever made a bad move, and things are going like they're going now. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I hope that doesn't do that, because I don't know, they might have teams that have club ball and stuff like that, but that's a little different than regular football and all that. And I remember when the guys from Northwestern wanted to start a union and all that, and I thought, no, that's not a good idea.
No, I definitely agree with that. So
I don't know what. And these guys are supposed to be very smart, but they were not thinking all the way through on that, in my opinion. But now I want to ask you another question while we're still on the phone. And now, if you need to go, let me know. But
we're good.
They're talking about somebody thinking. A friend of mine thinks that eventually, when they had this, maybe they might have a committee to try to straighten up all this stuff, that Saban will have some kind of say-so or be involved in it. Do you see that, or do you see a czar of college football coming around, or or is that hard to say?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that, but I think what's interesting, seeing the SEC and Big Ten kind of form, a combination advisory group.
Yeah.
There's different, scenarios people are throwing out with that. As SEC and Big Ten kind of, vacate the NCAA and kind of do their own thing. And, I saw Sankey, I think it was yesterday, talking about the college football playoff, that, them and the Big Ten were not committing to it after 25, unless changes were made.
What committing to that?
Decisions were.
Talking about the
I don't
playoff.
Know. Do what?
Talking about the playoff, they weren't committing to it after 25. Is that what he said?
That's what I read, and that decisions weren't made, or it's just odd that them now in the Big Ten forming their advisory group, and then both of them coming out and saying they weren't going to really commit after 25 when the new system's over. But does SEC and Big Ten kind of lead the NCAA and kind of do their own thing, or I don't know. It's just odd that they're now doing that, and does that have a trickle down with anybody? So
Yeah. I still
it's
think Southern Cal and UCLA and all them going to the Big Ten that was an idiotic move. It must have been something financial involved with
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but the other sports are going to. It's pretty insane. UCLA playing Ohio State in baseball or women's basketball and stuff like that. It's just it's going to be pretty
yeah,
hard. You're going to be losing money after Yang Yang doing that, in my opinion. And you know better than I do on that. But, I mean, it's just, yeah, you're not going to be
yeah.
able to drive in a van from Los Angeles to Columbus, Ohio
No,
in one
no,
day. No, that'd take about 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, it's just, no, that ain't going to happen there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, uh, what else is going on that you can talk about? Hey, Margie, how you doing, pretty lady? Thank you, ma'am, for watching. All right. Uh,
That's about it, Colin. Just we got everything. All our sports except volleyball are going on right now, and so baseball and softball. Weather aside, are trying to get. We've had a golf tournament. Had some tennis going on, so we're
now, we're
100
now.
miles an hour right
All
now.
right. Let me ask you this question while we're talking. Now the basketball tournament, where's that going to be? They're talking about the final.
Division two will be in Mobile.
Uh huh.
We had to move that last week because of some scheduling issues where it was going to be at in Tuscaloosa. But so
Yeah.
we had to move that to Mobile, and then Division one will be the other side of the state in Huntsville at UAH.
All right.
So
Now, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
All right. Now, okay. Now, mention who are the Division One programs and who are the Division Two, unless it's a lot of them.
Well, Division one, Bishop in Mobile, Wallace, Hansville, Gadsden, Lawson, Southern Union, Coastal South, which is Bay Minette, Calhoun, Decatur, Shelton, Tuscaloosa. And again, this is basketball, but Division two, Sneed and Boaz, Bevel and Jasper, Chat Valley and Phoenix City, it'll be Wallace and Andalusia, Enterprise, Reed State.
Oh
Of course,
yeah.
so them, Wallace, Selma, Marion, and Coastal North, which is in Monroe.
All right. Let me ask you this: since you mentioned Reed State, how are they doing? I forgot about them.
They're 8-13, which isn't bad.
No.
Being a new program, they are ineligible this year for postseason.
Yeah.
Kind of a probation year.
Hmm.
But no, they're 5-6 in the conference, so doing well.
That's not bad. I know who this Chris. He played
Chris
it.
Hines.
Yeah, I thought that. And his sister is the manager of this apartment complex. So yeah, I see him on occasions over here. He's somebody I need
Oh,
to
okay.
get on the phone, talk to. And
Yeah.
I need to call her up today and find out what his number is. So maybe we can get him on the program this week. If not next week for sure. But anyway, we're almost we're getting closer to the time today. So I'm glad we was able to talk to you, extend the time out a little with you today. And I want to appreciate you. I appreciate you always being on here, and thank you for being on here.
Anytime, Colin. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, Dean. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the uh, of the uh, of the Alabama Community College conference there, who's a native of Virginia, I think. But anyway, he's been down here for a pretty good while. But anyway, we're about to call it a day. I want to thank y'all for being on here. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day, and thank you, Margie. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, John. Thank you, Greg. Everybody for being on here today. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.